Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. The buzz around the NFL right now is all about the potential blockbuster trade involving Kyle Hamilton, the versatile safety from the Baltimore Ravens, and the New York Giants. Rumors are swirling that the Ravens are willing to part ways with Hamilton, and the Giants are eyeing him as a game-changing addition to their secondary. If this deal goes through, it could be one of the most significant moves of the season, especially for the Giants' defense, which has been striving to find that extra spark to elevate their performance. Let's dig into the details. According to sources like Adam Schefter, the Ravens, sitting at a 5-5 record, are considering trading Hamilton in exchange for a second-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft plus a fourth-rounder. This move would free up around $12 million in cap space for Baltimore, which they could then allocate to bolster their front seven. The Ravens have been struggling a bit on defense, allowing an average of 25 points per game, and their run defense has been leaking yards, an issue that's become more pressing as the season progresses. With the Ravens prioritizing strengthening their defensive line after a rocky start, this trade makes a lot of sense from a strategic standpoint. Hamilton, drafted 14th overall in 2022, is often described as a Swiss Army knife for his ability to play multiple roles across the secondary. He's the kind of player who can line up as a deep safety, a box safety, or even blitz the quarterback, making him a nightmare for offenses to scheme against. His athleticism and football IQ allow him to make big plays that can swing momentum, something the Giants could really use. Over his career, Hamilton has accumulated 250 tackles, 8 interceptions, and 15 pass deflections, with a PFF grade of 87, 6 overall. In 2025, he's been solid with 60 tackles, 3 interceptions in 10 games, and a PFF coverage grade of 84, 2, which puts him in the top 10 among safeties. He also has 7 pass deflections, 2 sacks, and dealt with a hip injury in Week 6 that caused him to miss 1 game, but he's shown resilience and high-level play when healthy. Now, why would the Giants be interested? Well, adding Hamilton would be a massive boost to their secondary, which has been a work in progress this season. The Giants' defense has been solid, but could use that extra playmaker to elevate their coverage, especially against the division rivals and playoff contenders. When you look at Hamilton's stats and skill set, it's easy to see how he could help the Giants reduce passing yards allowed, currently around 250 yards per game, and turn them into a more formidable unit. Projections suggest that Hamilton's addition could bump the Giants' coverage EPA, expected points added, by around 19%, and he could be expected to rack up close to 100 tackles per season, significantly strengthening their run support. If this trade happens, Hamilton would slot in as a key piece alongside safeties like McKinney, transforming the Giants' backfield into a top 12 unit in the league. His presence would elevate the entire secondary, giving cornerbacks more confidence and reducing the number of mistakes that have cost them in tight games. Plus, Hamilton's knack for creating turnovers, he has 7 forced fumbles in his career, could be the X factor that pushes the Giants over the edge in close contests. Looking at the broader NFL landscape, this move would be similar to the kind of impact we saw when the Chargers acquired Derwin James, which boosted their coverage efficiency by around 18% in 2025. If the Giants land Hamilton, they could see a similar jump, especially considering how much more dynamic their defense could become. The potential for him to be a difference-maker in big moments, especially against deep threats or in critical third-down situations, makes this a very enticing possibility for Giants fans who crave a defense that can truly impose its will. From Baltimore's perspective, this is a calculated move. They're sitting on about $20 million in cap space, but their run defense has been leaking yards, up to 115 yards per game on the ground. They're aiming to rebuild and retool after a 2-2 start, but their current strategy seems to prioritize draft picks and future assets, especially since they're focused on improving their defense with new pieces. Trading Hamilton, a player they value highly, might be a way to get a fresh start and gather assets to continue their rebuild. Similar to what the Chiefs did when trading for Tyrann Mathieu, Baltimore could be looking to replenish the secondary with younger, cost-controlled players while focusing on their front seven. For the Giants, acquiring Hamilton would be a huge step forward. Not only would he immediately improve their secondary, but he also adds a layer of versatility that many offenses struggle to counter. His ability to cover deep, support the run, and create turnovers aligns perfectly with the Giants' goal of building a defense that can carry them deep into the postseason. The Giants have been showing flashes of brilliance this season, but to truly contend, and to finally get over the hump, they need playmakers who can elevate the entire team. Hamilton could be that guy, transforming their secondary into one of the league's best and making life much harder for opposing quarterbacks. Looking ahead, the impact of such a move could be felt not just in this season, but for years to come. Hamilton's presence on the field would help reduce the number of passing yards allowed and generate more turnovers, both crucial ingredients for winning games in the NFL. His addition could also provide a psychological boost to the entire defense, giving them a sense of confidence knowing they have a guy who can change the game at any moment. Of course, there are risks involved. The Giants would need to make sure Hamilton fits seamlessly into their scheme and culture. They also have to consider the cost. Trading a future second-round pick is significant, but if it results in a Super Bowl-caliber defense, it's a move worth making. Plus, the Giants' front office has shown they're not afraid to make bold moves when the opportunity arises, especially if it helps them accelerate their rebuild and get back to winning ways. And let's not forget the division implications. The NFC East remains one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL, with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys always in the hunt. Adding a dynamic player like Hamilton to the Giants' roster could tip the scales further in their favor, especially if it helps them tighten their defense and limit the big plays that have plagued them in recent years. It's the kind of move that could set the tone for the second half of the season and beyond, giving the Giants a real shot at not just making the playoffs, but making some serious noise once they get there. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. In the end, this potential trade for Kyle Hamilton represents a bold statement by the Giants. It's a move that could reshape their defensive identity, add a versatile playmaker in the secondary, and give them a real shot at reaching the Super Bowl again. For fans, it's exciting to think about the possibilities. Hamilton's ball-hawking skills, his ability to make plays all over the field, and how he could help turn close games into W's. The Giants' front office has a lot to consider, but if they pull the trigger, it might just be the move that propels them back into elite status. Looking at the broader NFL picture, teams are always looking for that one piece that can elevate their roster. Hamilton could be that piece for the Giants, a player who, with his multi-dimensional skill set, can cover multiple roles, confuse offenses, and create chaos for opposing quarterbacks. His impact would be felt in the numbers in the locker room and in the playoff standings. And for the Giants faithful, it's about finally seeing their team take that next step and have a defense that's feared rather than just respected. Now, let's keep an eye on how this develops. Will the Ravens really part ways with Hamilton? Will the Giants make a bold move and go all in on this talented young safety? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. The NFC East is about to get even more interesting. The Giants have a real shot to shake things up, and with Hamilton in the fold, they could be on their way to something special this season. Buckle up, Giants fans. This could be the start of a new era, and it's happening right before our eyes. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the New York Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news.